On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Ntanzi. We're back again. It is that time of the night. And I'm sure some of you are sleeping, but it is normal.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't just prepare. We prepare and we go through these things over and over again. If we feel that there's something that is omitted or something that makes us feel like we are hallucinating, we will replay that situation until we're satisfied. So, yeah, Emily, today I would say it was a banger, no, but I would say for me it was just the situation where I feel like we cover for whatever that we have done in the past. That's what I felt like.
Yeah. It's exhausting. Gininda is exhausting. It's tiring. It's all over the place. It's too much. It's too much, you guys. Yes, like we always do over here. Welcome back to the Ntanzi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another deliberation of the Senzo Meyiwa Trial. You know, we do this on a daily. We go live, and later on in the show, we will always open the lines for you guys to call in and share your opinions about what you thought of what is happening today. But let me quickly go over the proceedings as we always do. And the state prosecutor, Judge Baloy, said that a dispute had arisen with the defense. They wanted to peruse the dockets, including the Nongoma case docket, copies of the docket that should be made available to the defense. The judge said that they are privileged documents, top secret stuff, you know. The accused are not entitled to those documents. They are not yet charged, and the matter was supposed to be enrolled, and the prosecutor in Fosloras came with the new version of the law to say that he doesn't have jurisdiction. For those who missed it, that is shade. That for those who caught it, right there, that is shade that was thrown by Judge Ratam Mokwatleng to this Fosloras magistrate who said that, you know what, this case is in the wrong jurisdiction. It's not my jurisdiction. I'm not going to be able to deal with this case. Or Judge Ratam Mokwatleng is saying, no, he or she should not have done that, okay? He said it's not correct, according to the judge, okay, Judge Ratam Mokwatleng, and the charges were never laid, right? So that's the reason why the charges were never laid. It's because the Fosloras magistrate said this jurisdiction of Nongoma is not mine to deal with. Why is it so difficult to take this case to Nongoma jurisdiction? Can somebody please answer that for me? I don't understand. Yesterday we were dealing with jurisdiction where he was handling the case of Fosloras at Boksburg, and he came up with this wonderful excuse to say that it's the same SPP. Right? It's the same SPP, so it doesn't really make a difference because they're dealing with the same people, but the jurisdictions are different, and they let it slide like it means nothing.
Once you see a judge being able to actually freely comment on a decision that was taken by a different, let's say, magistrate, it tells you the arrogance when it comes to this professions. No, but not only in this in this case, where you feel the need that you must say whatever that you need to say. Normally, they shy away from commenting on such cases where they are still ongoing and whatnot. But in this case, it's not the case. The judge felt the need to go overboard and try to criticize, in this case, how this case was dealt with, and without much merits, and throwing shades like that. It tells you the favoritism that this Judge Rata is having when it comes to people that are testifying and are involved in this case, which worries one, because there is no need for you to go overboard. Yours is to deal with the facts that are in front of you.
Yes.
But to go overboard and want to comment on a case that was dealt with by a different magistrate, and you feel the need to tell them that they were wrong or right, it tells you where the support maybe lies on when it comes to this. So Gininda was right and everyone else was right when they decided later on that, okay, because this thing is not allowed in this court, we will consolidate and do whatever that we need to do. Now it seems as if they started by consolidating and submitted. From my understanding is they did that after this whole situation of not being accepted and thinking, what are we going to do? How are we going to take this case to KZN? The case that is done according to KZN people. And then Joburg people with some cold cases, they think, no, it's not done.
Now, my question is, why is Judge Rata Mokgwatleng not asking Brigadier Gininda that how come his investigations do not start where the cases were first laid? They always start at a higher rank, higher, like regional court. You want to move to another jurisdiction. Why aren't you asking him what was wrong with starting at Nongoma?
And
why
it
couldn't
seems
you start
as
this
if
case
there is a disregard when it comes to that movement completely of whatever that has happened in those cases, which would suggest, for one, that maybe these cases are just taken out of context and recreated without any collaboration with the original initiator of these cases. Just because you have access, to this database, it means that you can just look at any case and say, I'm putting this one under image. That is how it feels like.
It's feeling like that. It's feeling that way.
There is no collaboration between the case. Hence, later you would hear Ngomezulu asking a question as to whether this was there an application for separation of trials when it comes to this case of Nongoma, because now he later on says there is like a huge chunk of people that are involved here. Then that begs the question of why weren't these people then in the very same stand as the guy that was sentenced? And to shy away from that question, he basically does not answer. He says a lot of things that are not actually saying anything, because the question is, was there an application of separate of trials, meaning that people who were charged with the very same case, they were going to attend the courts in different perspectives as it is happening now. Is that happening? Was there any application such as that? Obviously, you'd have to get such application, or if it happened, from the initial case that eventually sentenced the other Ptelis. But because there's lack of collaboration, or there's lack of, from my understanding, there's lack of understanding the initial case before you even take it further and create your own docket, which separates now the case. Which now says or suggests that maybe there might have been an application for separation of trials, which is not there. You cannot prove that that was the case.
Nope. You can't.
So on the basis of someone who has passed away, by the way, this thing was not even supposed to be read, if you ask me. The judge allowed it though.
Why?
You see, even the previous judge, who was it?
Maumela.
Maumela knew when to stop when it comes to people who have passed away.
Yes.
We did not use the statement of the neighbor and other statements of the people that says they saw a car and whatnot. They were not used.
No.
But in this court, we are using now the statements of people who have passed on to actually solidify why the case should exist.
I'm sorry, but this shit
And
is
the funny thing is that
hilarious.
the funny thing is that there is a chance for them to submit on the other witnesses that they claim according to this statement, to this affidavits that was being read there of these Butelis. Why aren't they reading the statements from the people that are still alive to say that that is the reason why then we arrested Bongani? Because of these people. They are saying these people are there.
Oh my God.
Where are they? Where are their statements? Why aren't you reading their statements? Why aren't
they on the witness stand to testify in support?
Do you understand?
Your claims.
Do you understand?
Why do we have to take the statement of a deceased person
and use it to solidify the case of why you kept Bongani in custody? And there was even that allusion of such as Bongani was also charged with substance. He was a supplier of substance.
Yes.
You might think that you're hallucinating.
I was hallucinating. I'm like, I've heard this before. Didn't Mohani talk something about illegal substance charge that Bongani Ntanzi had?
Yeah, it even went to a point of where someone was saying that Bongani was supplying, I think, accused number one.
Yes. What happened to that theory?
That theory is gone now. We're getting into a new theory.
Well, Brigadier Gininda said that they should investigate all the 4 dockets and thereafter because they are situated in different parts of the country and they must apply for consolidation. This is what the judge was saying because Brigadier Gininda was not yet in court. Asked what section it was, Advocate Baloyi said that it's centralization of charges. So according to the judge, the High Court is one court. So all those cases, they needed to be brought to the High Court. He made an example of someone committing a crime in Gauteng, then they are found at the border of South Africa and Mozambique, then they needed to be brought to the High Court. That's what he's saying.
There is no problem with that, and there is no dispute or no contention on that. What is being said is that what was the procedure that was followed? Do you understand? Is there a paper trail that sort of
the
gives us
protocol was observed? You understand that
Yes.
the steps were taken. It moved from district, regional, and then it came to the High Court.
Yes.
Can that pattern, be demonstrated?
Yes.
For us to understand?
Because the movement of these cases, they seem to follow a pattern of what former president was complaining about when it came to Zondo's commission, where Zondo approached the High Court direct, according to that is unprocedural and abuse of power.
It looks like abuse of power.
You understand?
Speaking.
You can't just fly when just because you are Gininda, you can just approach straight to High Court.
It's very interesting. So Advocate Tulani Mgomezulu asked, why is the state reluctant? Why are they not open to give them the contents of those dockets? And the judge said that the dockets must be read by you as the defense in this court. No copies can be made. They wanted copies to be made, and the judge defended the state by saying that the last time when Mohani was testifying, the accused were seen looking at the confidential documents, even though that was not the case. Remember, they were looking at a charge sheet, but somehow he's still stuck on that whole scenario Mohani was trying to create, that they were looking at a confidential document when they said they were looking at a charge sheet.
It has been made to be true.
Now it's true according to the
The only thing that is left is for him to name and shame these people, because it seems as if he persists on such, which is not a problem. But this does not emanate from just what is happening. It was started by the very same judge, where Gininda was willing to print this, but wait, aren't this case classified or something? Confidential. And then Gininda changed his mind.
Yes.
And then not only changed his mind, even the judge was willing to take the copies being made.
Yes.
And then now there was a ruling that they should they should peruse this thing in court. But
With
there
the
was
prosecutor.
but in that submission or in that ruling, there was never such rule as you cannot print it, but there was a rule of saying do not share it with your clients.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
Okay, so now using the issue of what could have happened, whether
Which
it was
did
true
not
or
happen.
not properly investigated, that they find themselves with the papers they were not supposed to have, these accused, which now is being used as the Bible truth of what and how should these things proceed. He then goes further as to make the reference to apartheid
Yes.
systems, which he's applying, by the way, for me, if you ask me, where the judge decides that I'm just going to look at this. He's even saying, I've looked at these things. It's only small pages. It's thick. It's thin.
It's thin.
So he is applying them in a democratic state. He is exactly applying the respect he has for that system. I don't know what it did to him.
You can make this ish up.
Yeah, he's applying it, and then he's freely doing it nicely and referencing it, making the owners of it very proud to say there's one person who of color who's applying this what we used to do. So he's a glorifier of such system. Under circumstances that is at right now, where he's just shutting down people like Bom Shololo.
Hey.
What do you want to submit on? I've ruled on that. You have ruled on something that they have never submitted on anything. Hence Shololo was saying, can we submit on this?
Can we make submissions on
and,
the
and,
issue?
and you almost want to bite his
Hey.
hand. Miss him Shololo. Well, I've ruled on that. You ruled on what basis? Who submitted what while we are ruling on this thing? Who submitted?
There were no submissions made.
And you've
In
ruled.
fact, you didn't even want to hear submissions. So what did you rule on? Because in my mind, I'm thinking they will probably need a couple of days to go through these dockets, especially with their clients. But then it turns out that their clients are not allowed to see them. And since, all of them are now implicated, but not in Judge Ratam Khotling's court, He even brought up what Mohane was saying about the so-called docket of Nongoma, that it's still being investigated, and that the witnesses, he's scared for his witnesses or something like that.
I don't understand what is difficult about this. Perhaps they should ask that question to say that, my lord, the docket, the initial docket of Nongoma case, it does not have all this history. And we are not looking for the current one now that you have decided to make.
No.
We are looking for the original one.
Yes.
The context of that one.
Of the original, not this
Since it seems
one.
that it seems as if now there was an application of separation on these trials. We are only looking for those ones where there's no one that is going to be implicated or even stand a chance of being eliminated just because the intelligence of whatever court cases dealing with this thing. Very worrisome remarks, and also ruling of such the choice of things that needs to be read there in public. That for me, in the eyes of the judge, seems to be jeopardizing the defense. what was read, the statement of Buthelezi that was read, it seemed to be favoring the state, but not entirely, because once you listen to it, you hear that this Buthelezi character wrote these statements on
the 16th of June.
16th of June 2020. And not only that, if you listen to it, it has this Zungu's accent, tone, the one that was torn apart. It has the Zungu character in it.
The story is very much similar to Zungu's
It just has Zungu's English, everything, the mistakes.
Even the mistakes.
Hence why it had to be typed, the other statements of Zungu. It had to be typed by the administrator, I don't know. But it just has that feeling. I promise you, I've never seen Zungu's handwriting, but it just feel like, this is Zungu speaking here in Buthelezi's mouth. I don't know, something.
I actually thought the same thing. I'm like, this sounds like someone who's testified before in this court.
Do you understand?
It sounds the same way. I was thinking
the only thing that was missing is Yebo.
Yebo.
But
that was the only
just
thing.
Has
even the mistakes.
The
and
mistakes.
I was like, oh, I can't read this. Oh, I don't know what this is saying. Oh, sorry, my lord, I can't hear what this is saying. I'm like, okay, there's somebody with similar mistakes. Well, the judge said that his ruling stands and no copies of the dockets can be made. He said that he never said that they cannot make notes, but they cannot make copies. Do you think that that is fair? Like
it does feel like the state actually has a conversation with the judge after hours. It does feel like that. If you ask me,
how things just rapidly change.
It does feel like that. I mean, we were waiting for Gininda for I don't know, hours. It just has that feeling. Ngati they have a chat outside here. Obviously, we're not saying that is the case. We just are observers, and that is how it feels. The spontaneous decisions that are taken there, that seems to favor what the state is actually saying. I've never seen a state on the wrong side of this court ever since.
Never. So going through 4 dockets by having to handwrite notes instead of having copies made, this reminds me of my very dark days of varsity. And one thing about me, I don't like taking notes, especially by my hand. It's a tedious exercise. I enjoyed it while I was still in primary school and all, but as you get older, and people's lives are on the line, I cannot imagine if I would be under such conditions, how I'd react. I'd probably react like that other lawyer in that other case. I would lose my mind. I'm just saying. But instead of having these copies made for them to see and visualize everything, every detail, no, they were told that they can make notes in just under 2 hours. Okay, 90 pages. Is it 90 pages
70
or 70
pages?
70 pages. And you just pick and choose. Guys, this is insane. So he said, I don't know, but something doesn't feel right, in my opinion, about this whole situation. And mind you, all this new evidence was never discovered during the pre-trial conference. It's basically trial by ambush. In fact, they even had a problem when Advocate Ngomezulu had a copy of 1 page, the cover page of the judgment of the Nongoma case that was closed, and it had a conviction. And somehow now it is resurrected with the confession of a deceased witness. This trial within a trial is going to be a movie, I'm telling you, and it might end up even taking way longer than we all expect.
Which plays in the hands of those probably who do not want to see 375 makes it, because as you follow it, people have been saying that these two dockets should have been combined, and everyone that is a suspect should have been brought into, according to each docket, should have been brought into before the court.
And the defense said that they have not received those dockets. Remember, we adjourned early yesterday because they needed to have a look at them. Turns out they didn't even peruse them at all. The judge asked how long the defense would need to read them. He said that he had a look at them and that they are thin. And it is not shocking that there was an early adjournment yesterday. So he did have a look at them. However, the defense did not. Okay, it did not have a look at them. And Brigadier Gininda took his sweet time coming with those dockets this morning. And now they were told that they cannot have the copies. They must just look at them with their eyes and make notes here and there and represent their clients under such conditions. Kwaze kwanzima eSouth. He was a kwanzima. So Brigadier Gininda made everyone wait for those dockets. It was alleged that he was outside court with the dockets. Advocate Baloyi said that he was parking at some point. Brigadier Gininda was not in court. They waited and waited and waited. Even though the judge insisted that they wait for him, he said that he didn't care. Even if it took the whole day, he was willing to wait. They waited, okay, but he was not a no-show. Okay, the judge said that he saw the dockets yesterday and Brigadier Gininda left with them without the defense having a look at them. So the judge insisted on waiting for Gininda to come back with those dockets, even if it meant that they took the whole day, provided that they read them in the presence of a prosecutor, or the prosecutor, just Advocate Baloyi. He talked about a police general's case where they used the Official Secret Act to classify the documents. The prosecutor decided that they wanted to go on with the charge because the documents needed to be declassified first.
They wouldn't go on, therefore, with the case because now they are classified for some weird reason. Like basically, it's like they were classified on the spot.
Yes, blocking. He said that the prosecutor needed to explain why they classified them. He gave an example. How can you classify a post-mortem report? That is nonsensical. The classification is being abused in this country. Asking Baloyi if he's aware of that, and Baloyi said yes. So classifying a post-mortem report, as a result, you can't prove the cause of death. It's classified. So when another head of intelligence was appointed, the documents were immediately declassified and the charges were reinstated. Interesting.
Yes.
Was he talking about the Mhluli case?
I think so.
I'm just asking.
He's there most of the time when it comes to political cases. We cannot... he's a man who's always been chosen to deal with political under certain circumstances. He's,
Okay, so he again reminded us of Mogane's performance with the classified documents and blah, blah, blah. There was an adjournment because Brigadier Gininda decided to make everyone wait before presenting the dockets, and the judge requested to be called when Gininda arrived. Well, he did arrive eventually, and he finally took the stand. And when he came back, he said in combination there are 70 affidavits. The judge gave the defense until 2 p.m. to peruse them, and there was a long adjournment after that. So when they came back, Advocate Mgomezulu began with cross-examination. He tackled the issue of the arrest of accused number 2 in 2020 with the murder case of Kwanongoma. Qiniselani Buthelezi was sentenced to life, convicted on 6 counts. That's the opening statement that we had from Advocate Mgomezulu, that this person implicated in this case is actually serving a life sentence on 6 counts, meaning the case is done, right?
Yes.
So Gininda said he, Qinisela Buthelezi, was convicted on the murder, which he got life, attempted murder 7 years, unlicensed firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, unlicensed firearm, a possession of firearm with erased serial number. So Gininda said that the stamp indicates he was convicted on the 25th of March 2022.
Yes.
So that's when the
2022.
2022.
By that time, Ntanzi was already...
He was already in the jail.
Yes.
He was already captured. He was already incarcerated. He was already in the jail.
While that case was not finished. So, upon finishing that case, or in the process of finishing that case, 2021, no one comes up and say, Ntanzi is involved. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
No news, no, you are being investigated for this case that is still pending, no being called to testify.
Not even the
None
accused.
of that.
Not even the accused. After this whole process says, no, actually Ntanzi was part of this. Not even the accused.
Not even the accused.
Then there comes
no
this
implication, nothing.
Then there comes this other Buthelezi now, who comes and say, hey, I'm not employed. I don't have a cell phone number. But I heard these people. I overheard these people.
And hearsay.
Hearsays.
I heard. So the matter is assigned to Sergeant Mohani and the other investigators in KZN. So my question here is, how come Mohani was unable to testify on this case? And how come he did not know what was in the docket? How come the dockets were with Brigadier Gininda and not Mohani if he's the one working on the case? But then Mgomezulu, it was like he was reading my mind. He was like, told Gininda that
and
Mohani...
just to disturb you, I mean, what is funny about this also? This man who wrote this is a Zulu-speaking man. Why is biting his tongue, writing in English that is not even familiar with? It's a question for another day.
It's a very important question, though. Mgomezulu told Gininda that Mohani kept saying everything is with Brigadier Gininda. He asked that, who must we rely on between the two of you? The evidence of Sergeant Mohani or yours? And Gininda said that on the last day of Mohani's testimony, the docket was found. He spoke to Advocate Baloyi about
Look at the timing of finding the docket.
The last day of Mohani's testimony.
Yes.
It's true that he had difficulty in accessing where the docket was kept with the other dockets.
Because for some weird reason, they couldn't get the person who had the key of where the dockets were. For some weird reason. Just for some weird reason, we can find other dockets, but this one, someone just decided to disappear with the key. We know that person, but we couldn't find him. Or her.
He said that there was difficulty in terms of locating because during that time, the person who was in possession of that key was not around. He had undergone investigation out of the province.
And he moves with the key.
How long was Mohani's testimony on the stand? Wasn't it like a week or 2
Like a week, yes.
Or somewhere there? But it was definitely more in a week. He took a long time on the stand. And this person was out of the province with the key. And the court, there was no means to say, come back with the key. There's a document that's needed. What is going on?
Basically, you guys, someone here is saying, hey, you guys agree on wrong things. I mean, honestly.
Guys, imagine yourself in that situation. Imagine. I know you think it may never happen to you. I know. We all hope and pray to God it never happens
That's
to
why
us.
Ntanzi smiles all the time when he's dealing with this thing. Because not even, sometimes I think he wakes up and says, maybe I'm dreaming, I'll wake
Maybe
up.
it's a nightmare. Maybe I'll wake up.
I'll wake up.
This cannot be happening.
Yeah, but it's happening. Yeah, you are. Your name changes, interchanging. Someone else is on the docket. Eventually, your name comes up. Someone decides who's not working, who does not have a cell phone, decides to write a statement.
Not even a cell phone.
And
what about the address? I don't even recall the address being mentioned.
You might take that thing off a cell phone likely because it is more like a signature. A cell phone can be traced to a person that owned it, but the cell phone is not there. That this person wrote in a very gibberish English, not using Zulu.
It felt like he was interpreting what the person wanted to say as he was reading their statement. In summary.
And then you tell us, you guys, you agree on the wrong things. And tell us what is right.
I don't think we are your tribe. So
tell us what is right.
Go find your tribe.
Just go find your tribe, man. If you think this is right.
Yeah, if you think this is right, I'm sure you will find someone out there who agrees with you.
They are there. Other people are there, man. Just find yourself a home and chill there. Because, we are going to ask these questions that we need to ask. Why is this the case? Why is that the case? It just doesn't make sense.
Another question I have. This person who left with the key of the Nongoma cases and dockets, were they on this case? Are they also an investigator of this case? Are they part of this case? Why did they leave with the key?
They just happened to remember there was that guy who came and said that if I'm not there, that key, no one will access the...
It was for the firearm room.
I think one of the best person that testified.
Yes, straight to the point. He didn't shy us. It was very much straight to the point. So holding dockets hostage while they are needed in court, allegedly, this person just decided to leave with the key while Mokhan is testifying.
He was arrested. No, the guy who was testifying was not arrested. No, he was not arrested, was he?
Which guy was arrested now?
The Buthelezi guy.
No,
he was not arrested.
He was not arrested. The one that got arrested is Qinisela Buthelezi.
And then the other one that was arrested,
whose statement was being read, is a totally different.
It's Jabulani. Maybe because there are other Buthelezi. There was Jabulani,
the one who testified,
who said if he knows how it feels to be in jail.
Oh, the one who was testifying.
Who the judge assumed that he was threatened just because he was saying something different from. From the script.
It's not that one. It's another Buthelezi.
Yeah, so this one was free. He was moving around. He was even willy-nilly. He said he's not working. He took them to where Ntanzi stayed. He was just visiting everyone, this one. Because apparently, if you hear what he's saying, he also visited Spear.
Yes. Yes.
He was a visitor. He's a man who goes around visiting people.
Yeah, he visited them
and
all.
when he visits these people, they trust him. They speak things that
are very deep
in front of him.
Yes, they trust him. Someone who visits them once in a while, then they just bother and they just confess to him.
Then it just happens that when you're visiting them, the Mapisa is gonna call and say to Ntanzi, "Hey, you did a great job.
Yeah,
you did a great job on that one of Marikana."
In front of him.
He's a lucky guy.
Very lucky.
The lucky guy who just at the right place,
stumbles on bombshells.
Right place at the right time for him to collaborate all these stories from different people and link them. Very, very lucky guy.
Very blessed. So Advocate Ngomezulu said that he's putting it to Brigadier Gininda that after perusing the docket, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that directly or indirectly links the accused number 2 with the murder case of Kwanongoma.
Then you should hear the mumbling there.
Gininda said that the statement mentions his name. And of course he did blah, blah, blah. But what I have learned, in order for me to finish and be faster as I cover Gininda's part, I have to extract.
What you need to get out.
I have to extract what I need and what is important. I do not care about all the blah, 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 blah that he does. It's driving me.
More. What are the words that he used to combine the sentence? More. Is it?
However, moreover, specifically.
Yeah. So.
Can you get to the point, please, sir?
He never answers. He never answers. He barely answers.
Well, then Gininda said that the statement mentioned his name. The matter has been finalized in the Pietermaritzburg High Court, and Gomezulu asked if there was any application for the separation of trials if there were more than one accused persons, and Gininda said no, not from his side. There are a number of names that are mentioned.
And that question was mainly asked because now we're dealing with this case in different merit. Ntanzi is alone now.
Yes.
And apparently, according to Gininda, there are other people, same as the issue of the mastermind. They are not there. Ntanzi is dealing with this case alone, which eventually it happens that he confesses about Senzo, but he still refuses this one. It's crazy.
So there are a number of names that are mentioned there, and he said that he didn't want to go there unless if he was asked to. I'm like, I've heard these hints before. I smell something. I could smell it. I'm like, I've heard this movie. I've seen this movie before. When they're hinting that maybe we shouldn't go there, but it means they really want to go there.
Yes. Once they say just not go there, obviously you know that the judge is gonna come and say, let's go there.
So a number of dockets
all
were
the
collected.
rules of whatever court, they will be thrown out. In this case, this is an affidavit of someone who has passed on allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, not alleged. They said it passed on.
No, they said that he passed on in the court. Yes, it's not allegedly.
It's not alleged. It's there, but it was read. It was rebuffed. No, don't read that one.
Not even given the light
don't
of
even,
day. Crushed,
don't even go
squashed.
there. Don't even go there. But Lena yona sizomvusa emathuneni uzabuya azokhuluma. He's going to speak wherever he is.
So a number of dockets were collected, and they would rather conclude the investigation than centralize and move in one jurisdiction. That's what he's saying. He's still busy with those number of dockets and investigating. Then once they're done, they will centralize and then make it one jurisdiction. So while someone is convicted and is sitting there for life.
Yeah, subsequently to that, my lord, I think we then had to deal and classify certain things.
Subsequently, these words that he likes to use that are textbook words. Well, worse, he's not the one implicating accused number 2.
No.
It's a deceased person who cannot come and testify. Isn't that interesting, you guys?
Very interesting. And it was read.
And it was read.
It's on record.
It's on record. So he's saying that the case involves high-profile individuals being assassinated in the country. So now Bongani Ntanzi is being linked to high-profile individuals who are being assassinated. They arrested him in a so-called shack in Rustenburg. People who dabble in this kind, do you think they would reside in shacks? I'm just asking.
There is a possibility of that.
But at home, how is Longoma?
I have barely seen them working a proper job. No, that is
holding on to a full-time job as well.
No. I've barely seen them doing that.
Why would they make themselves to suffer so much when high-profile individuals, they are costly, right? Taking out a high-profile individual comes with the money to show. So that's my...
Now, this guy...
That's my question.
Stands a chance of now being linked with someone in the Marikana there. Because of this guy who's gone.
So there's only one statement that mentions the name of Bongani Ntanzi, and it is attached to 3 other dockets, and it relates to the merits of 163. There's only one statement by Simphiwe Buthelezi, who talks about something he overheard.
Isn't it funny that Simphiwe Buthelezi will go further as to describing how these guys keep ammunition and firearms, but when they went there, they only got ammunition, as this guy explained it. So they had like prior information going there, but yet they didn't have a search warrant. Like it just doesn't make sense. But
actually, you would have prepared properly. You're like, this person keeps ammunition and fire.
Because now I'm going
to make a warrant.
The intelligence kicks in there. That intelligence, that who's this guy, Mabena or someone, that's where the intelligence kicks in. But you still go there. You still are found wondering as to why actually you go there. You went inside their house.
They went the first time, and then they went the second time. Second time when they went, they found a black
saying
plastic
that you
bag
were looking for
with ammunition.
You were looking for a hoodie that could have been worn on the 24th. It's just crazy, man. You tell me that you believe that, you sit down and you analyze it. You believe that. You're like, yeah, these people have a point. Yeah,
I'm worried about you.
I'm worried about you. That's a khambanga.
I'm worried about you. Are you fine?
No, is everything okay? If you really sit down and you're like, yeah, this guy has got a point. They had to go look for a hoodie that this guy was wearing 2014.
Gininda said
and then voila, they find ammunition where the guy who's writing an affidavit, Buthelezi, in English, said the ammunition could be at. Voila, they find it right there. Come on.
Well, Gininda said that he disagreed, and he talked about the various issues of murder and firearms. It implicates accused number 2 and various other matters, and the judge asked Gininda to read that statement by Simphiwe Buthelezi. Again, another statement not backed up by evidence. Worse, the statement author is deceased, so he will not be able to even come and testify to what is written in that statement.
No.
Gininda did not want the names of people mentioned in the statement. He wanted them to not be read out to the record, but the judge ordered that he reads everything. You know what's funny about this? It's like...
He normally says, I don't read these things before you read. But it seems as if this one, he read it beforehand. Hence is saying, no, read this one. Read it.
Ms. even asked, is that not going to cause problems or something like that?
Did.
And the judge said he does not want any secrets.
The problem is that this judge did not know that the person passed on. I think he did not know.
You think so?
Yes.
So the date of this statement, I only caught it at the end, and it was written on the 16th of June 2020. So Gininda read this hearsay statement, and this is how it went down.
Thank you, Kudagwashe.
Buthelezi said that he's from KwaNongoma. He knows Qiniselani Buthelezi from KwaMahlabathini in the village of KwaNongoma. He said Qiniselani is a known hitman around Natal and Johannesburg. Some of the weapons that he would use in killing people were supplied by him by a well-known gun supplier by the name of Mafika.
Everything is clear, Mosia. Well-known killer, well-known supplier.
Well-known, quotation marks. Well-known supplier. Who also
someone who could have been 22 at the time.
Well-known supplier of firearms. Who also comes from Nongoma area. He described Mafika, Bongani Ntanzi, as a quiet gentleman. And no one can suspect him. He is a firearm and ammunition supplier. Bongani Mafika Ntanzi is working in the mines in Carltonville, where he is operating from together. He's operating from these mines together with Basotho nationals. Not Basotho nationals.
They're catching strays.
Basotho nationals are working in the mines. And most dominantly the Zamazamas, allegedly.
No, they are there in the mines also, proper mines.
The proper mines.
Yes,
but the ones in the proper mines, they deal with firearms. Because I know the Zamazama ones do. But the ones in
I
the
don't
proper
even want to dive into that Zamazama thing. It's another...
He said they supply the hitmen and others with firearms and ammunition around the country and sometimes hire firearms to hitmen. All of a sudden, he was struggling to read and he said he could not see the handwriting saying that someone who is investigating these many, many cases that Bongani Ntanzi has. I have a problem with that, not him being able to not only read it properly or understand what is in it, because you are saying you did investigations. It shouldn't be difficult for someone who did investigations to read that statement. You've read it multiple times before.
And made sense of it.
And that helped you put your case together, did it not?
But later on, he says it's not the one who's in charge of this case.
Oh, my goodness. They supply hitmen around the country. Now, how interesting. Bongani Ntanzi is now a firearm dealer, by the way. At the Tembisa court, they failed to prove that Muzia Kalela Sibi, accused number 1, that he was an illegal substance dealer. He was only charged for possession of illegal substances as well as possession of ammunition, illegal ammunition.
What is fun about this is that this supplier of what he supplies, they only would find ammunition of that, and not a lot, just
13.
Yes. Number 13, lucky number.
They all find 13 rounds in a black plastic bag. Qiniselani Buthelezi is a very connected person, is what the statement said. And some of his cases are thrown out of court when he's arrested. Qiniselani, who sometimes hire people to help with briberies, would bribe the police and the prosecutors and the magistrate. And he would brag that around November 2012, he was found in possession of an AK-47 and ammunition, and he further told that the firearm was Mafika Ntanzi's, and he further told that the AK-47 was the one used to rob a ShopRite in Vosloorus. With Nkani Ntuli. Nkani Ntuli is accused number 5.
He went. And
not only they are robbing ShopRite at Vosloorus,
the funny thing,
allegedly,
is that these people, what they are submitting is that they don't know each other that much.
Well, they are saying they do. This statement is saying that they are together.
More so with Mafika, and it's a different
and accused number 5. Yes, this one is linking accused number 5 directly with Mafika. This statement. And the policemen were shot in that ShopRite heist. Around January 2014. He said, I decided to move from Nongoma to stay in Mazulu Hostel in Vosloorus. There's a Mazulu Hostel. Mazulu Hostel in Vosloorus. Is it there, guys?
I think you were talking about Basotho.
But he wrote Mazulu on the statement.
I mean, that guy wrote a lot of things that are not making sense.
To
English.
try and make a living for myself so that I can make money, I stayed working at a taxi rank as a queue marshal of cars and minibus. He was approached by a taxi driver, is what he says, at the taxi rank, looking for a gun to protect himself. And he specifically said he wanted a hot firearm, mentioning an unlicensed pistol.
A Shisayo.
I immediately contacted Qiniselani to hook me up with Mafika Ntanzi, who now stays in Johannesburg. Mafika Ntanzi brought the 9mm pistol, and I took it to the driver and received cash for the said transaction and ammunition as a middleman of the firearm and ammunition deal.
This middleman was never arrested.
No, he was not.
Did they promise him something?
Perhaps they say testify, and if you testify, maybe you will not go to jail. Allegedly, that's what me speculating. Maybe that was the case. But then unfortunately, he passed away. He passed away, and now I don't know if they could continue. Maybe perhaps that's why this statement is now here. Because perhaps he was very important.
And this statement is duplicated across all these other cases that Ntanzi now is
implicated in.
Duplication.
Bongani Ntanzi used 2 firearms in Foslera's house and surroundings and had some secret meeting at the hostel with other people and shared certain things with me, he said. And I'm talking about June 2014.
This guy must have been for the lack of a better word, just like girlfriend or something. You confide, the one you trust. All these guys are willing to talk to this guy.
All of them.
All of them.
There was a time around October 2014 where we used to hang out around with the hostel with people from home in Kwanongoma, and he mentioned Carlos.
Doesn't that sound like Yebo?
Yebo, it does.
Family gathering. Family gathering. Yes, Chedi Hero, you got us live, and we see you.
Yes, welcome. And thank you. Thank you to the person you were saying thank you to earlier. It's just that I am invested. I'm deep within, guys. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm not. I'm within these details. So he mentioned Carlos, Mapisa, Nkani, and Muzi in a room where Gwabini resided. So Gwabini is also implicated over here.
Doesn't that sound like Yebo Zungu, the other Gwabini?
Konje Zungu was also there in the company of the very same people in 2014. Was he not?
It does. It does. The pictures are saying where he's not appearing on those pictures. I guess he was a cameraman all the time.
Maybe he was the one taking the pictures.
30 cases, yes, 30 cases. Can you imagine? 30 cases. Not even Ndule has 30 cases.
No, not even Carlos.
Not even Carlos has 30 cases. Ntanzi, 30 cases.
Around November 2014, Bongani Ntanzi started to give me attention, and he was always visiting me and sometimes would bring firearms to also show to people. Yazi, Samafele, Samahotlo. The way they are describing him, they're describing a salesman of...
Hey. Akhambanga.
I have never seen a person who will be prideful and take pride in selling illegal firearms. That's just asking for attention.
And live to tell the story. And then, okay, they're gone now, but they told the story and nothing happened.
It's very difficult to find such a person. I know.
That sounded like the fact that he's gone, that sounded like there's suspicions of what could have happened, or maybe it was done by those people who are arrested, Bontans and whatnot. Subsequently to that, I know the witness is gone. Subsequently to that, it just has that feel that
I am very disturbed and concerned of the way that they are describing him as somebody who walked around advertising I'm selling firearms. It's very disturbing. It's very... He's showing them to people. Hey guys, no. So he became distant is what he said, okay? And he said he noticed that Bongani was no longer the same Bongani. He became distant and would not talk like before. And when he asked him, he said he's working on something. Something is working him or something like that. but I must not worry, he will solve it. We continued selling firearms to Qiniselani and other people, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, because there's a high demand of unlicensed firearms and ammunition over there. There was a time when Ntanzi worked from Carltonville to Rustenburg. So he said he worked from Carltonville to Rustenburg. And the way he's describing it, it's like it happened instantly and immediately. He found a better job in MTE and he still continued supplying firearms and ammunition. There was a time around 2017 where Bongani sold a 9mm pistol with ammunition to Qiniselani. That pistol had a special name and made Qiniselani to have power, and he was bragging.
It was like a kid is testifying here.
A very passion pistol with
my killing machine,
special handmade something, and it was where, and then he couldn't read further. Something happened, he couldn't see, or whatever the case was.
Hey, it's like a kid is testifying, so it gave him power.
My killing machine.
Can you imagine?
He says, I don't know where Bongani Mafika and Ntanzi got this firearm from, and he didn't want to show me his supplier. Bongani Ntanzi was staying in Rustenburg and making money securing firearms, and I also heard from Qiniselani that Bongani is now making more money in that province. He also supplies more firearms in Marikana. Ntanzi invited me to visit him in Rustenburg at Phokeng, where I overheard him talking with Mapisa over the phone, where I heard them say they did a good job by killing a union member in Marikana, and Mapisa must make sure that Gwabini pays them the money because he did not want to be traced with bank accounts.
Hey, what we are talking about here. If you believe if you believe that there is ancestors in Zulu Bible, it like flattered it loose. No, look, others, they are there in any case. Now the main point is Bongani, who now happens to have more cases, more than everyone who's there. I finally flattered.
Was he also offered the highest amount of money according to the families?
Highly flattered. Yeah, there's something like that.
I heard that the person that was killed was a very big person and very powerful. And I asked him, did he also start killing people? And he also said it's a man's job that he must do because he needed the money to make a better living. A better living, and he was still staying in a shack. Phokeng. What did Mokhane say they found in the Mkuku? They were even describing the furniture, and I
wasn't it? No, that's the other one.
Oh, that's for Muzi.
Muzi, yes.
They said they found Ntanzi with the girlfriend.
Yes, guys, please like the video. I see Anna is talking about it. 180 likes. We are 457 here.
Guys, push the like button. We are back. Back like we never left. Press that like button. Press it. Bongani used to keep small quantity of firearms in his room and the roof of his room. So they're saying that he used to put these firearms in his room and then at the roof of his room. In the back, in the cover, they were covered in a blanket. He said, I discovered that Qiniselani had a lot of cases where he was arrested and investigated for killing people. In 2020, I went to Vosloorus and I heard Moses Bia and his girlfriend. I also heard a girlfriend was hit regarding the Meyiwa case, and his father paid a policeman to cancel the case. I also heard that Bongani, Mapisa, Carlos, Ngani Ntuli are involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. I was very angry at them because they have killed a very important person who was the national goalkeeper of football club and Orlando Pirates around May 2020.
So this guy, not only did he overheard these people speaking, he would confront them to say, why? Why in Shayu Unzo?
I was very angry. Very angry. Around May 2020, I was visited by police, Sergeant Mokhane and Sergeant Mabena from the SAPS. I don't know how they found me because it was Carlos, and they started asking me, how do I know Qinisela Buthelezi and Ntanzi? Sergeant Mabena told me that I am the gun supplier, and I am the one who's the hitman. I'm supplying hitmen with firearms and ammunition, and a lot of people were killed. And I became concerned, and I started shivering. I then cooperated with the police, and I told them that I know about Qiniselani and Bongani Ntanzi. I told them that I heard that Qiniselani is arrested in KwaNongoma, and they asked me about my gun involvement with Ntanzi, and I explained that I was a middleman just making money for myself. I voluntarily decided to work with police to trace Bongani Ntanzi in Rustenburg. On the 16th of June 2020, I took the police to Phokeng and showed them a place where Bongani Ntanzi is staying and pointed him to Sergeant Mabena and Mokhane. To think that we had to sit and listen to Mokholwa, swearing and doing all of that, saying that they did not know when Ntanzi was residing. Do you remember that?
They use intelligence. I guess this was part of intelligence. That's what they said. They use intelligence. I guess this was intelligent. This guy was intelligent.
He said Bongani was not working at the time because of COVID-19. I'm working with the police to meet the witnesses that are also threatened by Ntanzi, Mapisa, Carlos, and Qiniselani, and their further names. They gave a list of names, a whole list of names of people that I couldn't. We'll see later on how they fit into this puzzle. While signed and commissioned by Sergeant Mokhane on 2020, June 16th at 1400 hours, the same day that Bongani Ntanzi was arrested. So someone jokingly said that this sounds like Zungu's testimony before it was shredded and typed, allegedly. Allegedly.
Do you understand?
And when he, Simphiwe Buthelezi, narrates the whole situation of I was trying to make a living. And being implicated in this whole supplying of. Hi, guys. Let me come back. Ngomezulu mentioned that Simphiwe Buthelezi died in 2022. Was it May? I think they even mentioned the month May, but I'm not sure, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he passed away in 2022.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about passing away.
So Gininda said he was also a witness, but the other witnesses are still alive. Mgomezulu said that it speaks
and
of
you
the
choose
murder.
to have the statement of someone who has passed away. Why didn't we just use the statement Sandlov once and for all?
Ndlovu. Which Ndlovu?
The Ndlovu was going to testify.
Many
police.
people who were going to testify, including the one of Babu Ngache. Babu Ngache also had a statement that they stopped. They said no, right? Because he's no more. Then it might as well be introduced as well, since we're introducing other statements of other people that are deceased. So Gininda denies saying it says that. He denies that it says that, because Mgomezulu was saying that it speaks of the Marikana. Guys, the whole reason why they had to go to this statement was because they were not agreeing with this here. In this statement, Bongani Ntanzi is not implicated with the murder of KwaNongoma.
Yes.
And it's only mentioning the murder of Marikana. That's where he's implicated, actually. And Gininda is still denying it. He still denied it, blah, 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 with his over-explanation saying that it did not say which specific place, but it is clear that the firearm was used and people died and the firearms was involved.
And they didn't find any firearm with Ntanzi.
This is the type of answer I would give if I'm speculating. I'm just saying. He said that it's more than 30 cases of murder. It's a lot. It's a lot. How many times did he say a lot? Who was counting? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Above 30.
30 cases of murder. Not just any
I don't
case.
want to portray him as this bad person.
Well, you've already done that.
You're doing that, man.
Then Gomezulu said, I'm putting it to you. You have unlawfully and wrongfully arrested accused number 2 by accusing
And which
him
is true. On a normal
with
court.
the murder case under 163.
On a normal court, this case will be thrown out.
On a normal court.
On a normal court. Not
That
this one.
goes by the constitution and the respect of people's rights. So on normal courts, yes, there's nothing here. So, and it is further my submission that you had no other reason to contain him other than to put him under arrest so that you can solicit a confession from him.
Which I tend to believe it now.
And Gininda said he didn't arrest accused number 2. He was not there when he was arrested. Sergeant Mohani is the one who arrested him.
Distancing himself
And
from
Mgomezulu,
Nongoma case now.
yes, and Mgomezulu
Because
then,
it's not, there's no joy there. I did say that there is no way that docket is coming in. No way.
kufike guys, yini le nto kade siyifunda? It's an affidavit.
It's a-
Uthe there's
From the
60
docket that is created in Joburg.
Hakuna docket. It's affidavits. So Mgomezulu said on the 16th of June, when he was arrested the following day on the 17th, he was interrogated about the death of Senzo Meyiwa, not the Nongoma case. Gininda said that is not what is contained in the docket. The warning statement he had says he was questioned on the Nongoma case and other matters. He said he denied all these other matters. He signed where he says he denies all these allegations. He denied a matter that had a witness but confessed to a matter where there was no evidence found against him or placing him at the scene of the crime, let alone a witness testimony accusing him. Mgomezulu repeated the question to say that he used the docket to secure Ntanzi for the purpose of obtaining a confession from him. There is another Foslerus case, which is 534 of 6/2020. And when Ntanzi was charged, and he asked whether that docket was registered or not. And Gininda said that he is not sure what that docket is about or what it is. So, turns out this docket is for possession of illegal substances. Again, right? The one that Mohani had mentioned. I feel like I'm having a deja vu or something like that, because now it seems like Ntanzi was never implicated in an illegal substance dealing type of case. But now Mgomezulu, remember that Mohani actually testified about this case, and Mohani testified about it. Gininda said that he doesn't know about it. Well, the judge wanted to know when he appeared in court for that case, and Mgomezulu accused Mgomezulu of linking the illegal substances case. All of them at this point are going to not remember what Mohani had said. But somehow, guys, I can't be the only one who remembers that Mohani talked about an illegal substances case that was linked to Bongani Ntanzi. So Mgomezulu went to consult with his client, which is accused number 2. For the first time he heard about this docket, he has never been charged or arrested with the case. So the judge brought up Umamfundisi as well, Umukhula. However, Gininda mentioned that the Tembisa case of Mohani relating to accused number 1. So they are now sort of like moving away from that illegal substance case and they are only speaking about the one where there is a conviction with regards to Musa Kalela, which is accused number 1. So Gininda said that in the occurrence book 163, there is the other case that he does not want to speak on it. So Mgomezulu asked if he appeared or was ever charged for the 163 Nongoma case, and Gininda said he was not involved. Okay, he was not involved in the court appearance for the 163 Nongoma case. So Gininda is now passing the baton of this Nongoma case to Mohani. Yet the dockets are with him. It's also strange. It's also unusual. It's also peculiar. Like, Mohani is the one who's supposed to be having this case, yet Mohani didn't want to speak on the case. Okay, he said he doesn't want to speak everything. He was referring to Brigadier Gininda. Now Brigadier Gininda is here and he's referring the court to Mohani. Isn't that interesting? So Mgomezulu said accused number 2 was assaulted, tortured, and tubed, and had his head placed with a plastic bag. And Gininda said that when he was interviewing accused number 2, there was no information from him that he was assaulted. He said that he was not assaulted at any stage when he was with him. And in the documents handed by Colonel Rapadu, nowhere was it written that he was injured or had complaints when he was in detention. And the occurrence books as well, there's no reflection of him complaining of assault. Mgomezulu then said on the 18th in the evening, Ntanzi was assaulted in an engine garage by Mabena, Jonathan, and Buthelezi and Mapumulo next to an engine garage in Alberton. And Gininda said that he was not there. The last time he saw him on the 18th was when they were following the alibi. And Mgomezulu said Sergeant Mohani, when it was first put to him that Ntanzi was assaulted next to engine garage, he denied it. He denied being next to that engine garage and he denied the assault. But after the AVL, it showed a stop at the engine garage. And he further confirmed that after he saw the AVL location at that time, okay, he now was speaking of them being stuck at this engine garage. He needed to call Jonathan to come and help him push the car, whatever the story was. Remember that story? Yes. He admitted to that story and he brought it to light after the AVL reports showed that whole stationariness close to that engine garage. So Gininda said that he was not there when Mohani testified, and Baloyi stood to object and said that the question is misleading. He is saying that the version was later changed to say that the assault took place on their way back from Carltonville. When did they say that? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? When did the version of the assault move from the garage to on their way from Carltonville all of a sudden? So Mgomezulu said that he will leave it for the records. The reason why Baloyi is raising this, Mgomezulu was putting it in his argument or on the record to say that the reason why Advocate Baloyi is raising this is because they deliberately omitted the location of the vehicle on the 18th because they knew that it would corroborate the evidence of accused number 2. Remember that time, you guys, when we were going through the AVL records and the dates that were given? Remember that the 18th was taken out. I don't know how many of you guys remember that the date of the 18th was omitted from that AVL record. And Gininda and Advocate Baloyi insist that the said assault that occurred on the way to Moroka police station. Now they're moving it from that engine garage to Moroka police station. And they're saying that the accused is the one who did that. I'm like, where, when, how? So that is why Mgomezulu was asking for the record, saying that the record will speak for itself. Mgomezulu said, I put it to you that the version of accused number 2 is that on the 18th he was assaulted and later he was taken back to Pretoria North where he was kept. And 3 hours later he was booked out again. After he was assaulted, right about 12 o'clock at night, he was transported back to Pretoria North Police Station on the 19th. So Gininda said that he would dispute the booking. He would not dispute the booking out, but he would only dispute that the state deliberately kept the information of the 18th. But they did though. Did they not? They did. And he says that he made the request for the AVL. So he's the one responsible for the pulling of the AVL records from the 30th of May 2020. And he's saying that he never missed a date. He pulled every single date from then. And he said that he was done with it. And he said it was so voluminous. And he consulted with the state as to say which would make it easier. So he says the state is the one that advised him to leave out the 18th, aka blaming Advocate Baloyi that he's the one who told him, no, we don't need the date of the 18th, we only need these dates. Well, he said that Advocate Baloyi never gave him the date of the 18th. So now can he bring the AVL of the 18th then, since he's here testifying? I want to see something. Can he bring the date of the 18th of the AVL records? I want to see something. Then Mgomezulu reminded him of Mogani's testimony, saying that they had issues with the vehicle and were joined by Jonathan and the SWAT team. Gininda says that they told him about the mechanical issues. Mgomezulu asked, Mogani never said anything about mechanical failure in his evidence in chief. Evidence in chief was examination in chief with Advocate Baloyi, the state. He never mentioned anything about that mechanical breakdown. He only spoke of it after the AVL reports came through and he was now cross-examined. Under cross-examination with Advocate Mgomezulu, I think. So Gininda confirmed that on the 24th, the Toyota Fortuner was in Benoni and not transporting the accused. It was not transporting accused number 2, to be specific. So the transportation of accused number 2 was interlinked with the evidence of Sergeant Mogani, which was kind of the situation. I mean, remember we talked about it, about how the stoppings and goings and stoppings, they kind of fitted the narrative of Ntanzi more. Where they would stop is where kind of the incidents that he's alleging to have taken place. He's saying, this is where we stopped, I saw this, I saw that. Stops did happen at those places that he spotted. And he's saying that every time they would stop in those places, that's when the alleged assault would take place. And they are denying it. And they are saying that, you know what, that's not the case. So now Gininda is trying to say that that is not the case, trying to rebut all of that, is trying to change the incident of the engine garage to now Moroka Police Station. I don't know where this Moroka Police Station bitterization allegation comes from. They better show it on the record tomorrow because I don't understand where it's coming from. And he also says that he transported him from Boksburg Court on the 24th. Advocate Baloyi asked that they peruse the record. They look at the record. They look to find this alleged assault taking place at Moroka Station, Police Station, instead of the engine garage. Why do they want to take that engine garage out so bad? What's going on? Well, there was a long adjournment, so we will be back tomorrow to hear more of this case. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. It's stressful. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind literally covering this. It's like we're going nowhere slowly. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It's like we're going nowhere slowly. So yeah, that's about a wrap. And yeah, let's talk about what is happening. So, hey, it's been difficult. I'm gonna read your comments, you guys, because right now, Mr. Anonymous is on a body break. He's taking a body break, so let's just go through the chat and let me see what you guys are saying. It's been a while since I actually went on the chat and heard from you guys. Mr. Anonymous is back. Oh my goodness, he's back from his body break. So now let me see what our people are saying, because oh my god, you guys, this case is stressing me.
Yeah, let's have the calls, guys. For those,
someone is asking here, if Mapisa was guarding outside, how did Longwe pass him? Lukanyo Ngamba.
If basically there were people outside, that's
Like
a very good question.
How did Longwe pass everybody?
Easy, thank you for your donation. Thank you, generous.
Thank
donation.
you, thank you
very much. We appreciate you.
Yes, we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
We asked that question.
How did Longwe pass through? There were 3 of them allegedly. How did that happen? He pushed the person with the gun, yet there were still people outside who were guarding the house, and somehow he slipped through them as well.
Yeah, let's hear.
That's very interesting.
Ntanzi, hello. Puti unjani?
Molo.
Nakho-ke.
Ujaji nimbonile namhlanje akathandanga uyayibona ayikho lento ithethwa le document ibifundwa phaa nguGininda.
Ngibonethi
Yabona uyayibona lento ayikho ndakucima famna after ke ngokugqibile uGininda uzayichitha yonke lento la case phaa. And ke into ebani ba uNansika mna nge-2 cent yam endisolo ndisiza ngayo into ebani ba bazame umtshonisa phansi kwebhasi lo mfana uNtanzi babaleka usuwishwa uyayo because lo mfana uhleli ixesha elide phayana yabona ebanjelwe le case so yona nto babaleka usuwishwa yiyo loo nto bazamzamba mabanansike ngabenze nakanjani uba makabanzi yeah. Otherwise i-joke le case wona bhuti man, i-joke le case urder makachithe yonke laa nto leya okanye ke kuhanjwe ke kuyothathwa abanye abantu abakuthiwa beme babayangeza. That's because into esiyifunayo ku-mastermind I think kuze liqale ke ngoku lilansike libe le ndlela siyifuna ngalo ukuba umastermind abe khona so ukwazi ukuvela ezinye izinto.
Yeah.
Enkosi bhuti.
Enkosi.
Bonga kakhulu.
Hey. Yeah, Nami, I felt it. I saw Urata towards the end. It seemed like he was kind of stressed. I don't know. Maybe I could be reading him wrong. The body language was like, what was I thinking? Especially after he heard that the person of the statement is deceased. His body language completely
It changed. It did. And it was supposed to change.
Why don't they tell him everything?
It was supposed to change.
I'm like, why? Why did you guys put us through? So basically, it just was a waste. I feel, in my opinion, it was a waste because.
And he was told that this could by means this could amount to nothing.
Yes.
But he refused to listen.
Nisi actually tried to warn him. He tried, you guys. He tried to interfere and be the voice of reason, and he was quickly shut down.
Yes.
I want to hear everything. I want to hear everything.
And then it happened.
And then he heard everything.
He heard everything.
He heard it all. He heard everything. He heard the details. He heard the nitty-gritties. He heard the right stuff.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the case.
Oh my goodness. Senzo Meyiwa Trial. Hi guys, no. We are going through a lot. After this, I'm gonna need therapy. Like I can't. Sometimes I feel like I'm breaking down. Sometimes I feel like, yo, what have I signed up for? And you know the thing is, Mr. Anonymous, I can't leave it alone. I can't leave the case alone. Can you?
No, you can't.
It bothers me so much. I can't leave it alone. Even if I try, I'm like, I don't care. But it's hard not to care.
No, it's hard. Yeah, let us hear from someone here. Don't know if this is the right voice note.
Hello guys, Happy New Year, Emily, Happy New Year, Mr. Anonymous.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you guys are back to unfold the mystery that we are watching daily. Ayikho le ndaba kaGininda kahle kahle.
Ayikho.
Seriously, fanele ibanjelwe meeting in South Africa yonke. Ayikho le ndaba yale boys.
Hey, I wish kungenzeka njalo, because I mean this is not the first case, right? This must not be the first case, guys. Emily is off for now. We are tired, guys. We have been working on this case. Let me hear this one.
Hi, Mr.
All right. Someone decided that I'm not going to be able to hear us. Hello, Ntanzi, hello? Ntanzi, hello?
Hey, Mr. Anonymous.
Hi, sir, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No, I'm all right.
I'm good. Emily, what's up?
Emily is on a body break like I was.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Anonymous, what did we say yesterday about the dockets of Mongom?
We said it's not coming.
They're still coming. They won't come.
It's not coming. It's not.
Yeah, it's not coming. So it's not coming. And you know what, Mr. Anonymous?
Yes.
You know, yesterday I said Advocate Trobani said, Gininda said you must just give him Ntanzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it makes sense what was he saying, because of you cannot have 30 cases and not even zero conviction. Where on earth have you seen that?
Well,
30 cases, but there's no conviction. Come on, guys.
Are there those cases, though? Are they there?
That's my question.
Because they are just being... You see, this intelligent thinking, it's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's very disturbing, this so-called intelligent and whatnot.
Those things are just... in fact, we're just wasting... they're just wasting our resources. And you remember about... I don't know, was it the case of who blaming... I think maybe it's the former president. I'm not sure. Blaming this issue of intelligence on people spying, whatever.
Yes.
I think it's if it's not the former president, it's one of the politician. Even this guy was also complaining about it. Who's this guy? Who's the former CEO, Matsela Koko? Complain about the same thing.
Yes.
Complain about the same thing that you have. They say they have 1 million pictures or 1 million documents or whatever, but the case was thrown out of court. So I don't know what is this case still doing, my man. I don't know, Shem. I'm a traitor, man.
Or they must just combine these two dockets and bring these other people.
That's what Elton Hart was saying yesterday, that they should just combine the two cases. That's it. Combine the two cases, and yeah, that's it. So, my man, I saw the demeanor of Judge Rat after Gininda read that statement. It was like, yo, the man was shattered.
Everything the that just makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, the man was shattered. I was like, This is what I was listening to. The man was shattered. So I don't know, man. We'll see from tomorrow. But it's this case. It's about to collapse, unfortunately. But it's gonna take time.
It is running out of the house. It's time's done basically. But we still are here, wasting our time. My man, let me take others. I see someone is calling. Let me take this one. Ntanzi, hello. Ntanzi, hello. Ntanzi, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm alright.
Is this Ntanzi reality?
It is Ntanzi reality. Yes, yeah, true. Yes. Do you have anything? Yeah, Paul.
Oh, hey. Firstly, like I just want to say, I love your show, guys.
Thank you.
I think, like I've been following the case for quite some time, but I didn't have clarity before. Like in other stuff, like in terms of legal matters and how the case should be followed, or maybe like in terms of the process. So yeah, I mean, I just really want to appreciate you guys. And now I'm having like a better understanding about the court and the case and. But I think what I really want to say is, I think for me it's so sad that to see Guti, like how this case is shifting. Like I think Ntanzi was selling guns, and I think it has nothing to do with the Senzo Meyiwa case.
Yeah.
So, there's this friend of mine. He's practicing law.
Yes.
I think December we were chilling and then speaking about the case. So I mean, he's practicing law. So I mentioned like few things that I've learned like in this program, and then Wakala and I were Paula, and then he mentioned something interesting. What he gave me? Oh no, I said, there's one a caller that mentioned something in your show, Uguti. I think it was late last year.
Yes.
But it's amazing how this case, Senzo Meyiwa, like it's been going on and on. But the Orlando Pirates players are quiet. No one is saying anything.
Yes.
Even like the team, no one is saying anything. But even the coach or the owner of Orlando Pirates not saying anything. So when I mentioned that to this friend of mine, he was like, "No, this thing is simple, but of course allegedly, allegedly.
Yeah.
But this thing is simple because if you can go back, or if you can retrace everything, or if you can look at this current judge is friends with Ivan Coase, So then, so I think, I'm not sure what's happening in this case, but yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. No, we get
but yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say that.
No, we get you. We get you where you're going. Thank you.
And yeah, and I appreciate you guys and you, Mr. Anonymous, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
We appreciate you too. Thank you. All is alleged. Here. It's alleged. Okay, someone woke up on the wrong side. I was listening
Anonymous and Emily.
Yes.
Compliments of the new season.
Yes.
Happy prosperous new year.
Thank you.
Ninjani singene kahle enyakeni. Hayi isukile yasemsinga. Mr Anonymous no Emily ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ishow yene live icala ngobani isikhathi? Mina kaningi ngithola ku catch up the next day.
Catch
So I
up.
want to watch it live.
Yes.
Yeah. Chabita, I think you know me from last year.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the contribution. I've learned a lot from your program, guys. You guys are so good. Emily, you're the best. Yeah, thank you, guys. Love you.
Good. So, funny enough, we are live right now. This is a voice note. We are live right now. So, around this time, we are normally live. At 11, let's say 11, 10:30, that's the earliest it can be. But depending on what we need to deliberate on, we could start at 11. I would say, to be safe, 11. So at least you're going to be hearing your voice, and then you know for sure that what needs to happen is that you need to be up at 11 if you do have time. And if you don't, you'll catch us on catch up. That would be nice, actually, to be on catch up. DSTV. Yeah, you'll catch us the next day. That's basically that. And thank you for the compliments. And Emily definitely hears that. Guys, if no one calls, I'm definitely going to go to, comments, and then just call people's name like we used to do last. Tabi, so M. Dau, lucky one, obvious, is always here. Net, here, present. And then Ansi K. Moyo. Thank you guys for being with us. Ntanzi and Ndlovu. Kajeni, thank you, Siyabonga. Mrs. K, even saying, Gininda appeared very stupid when he was reading that statement from the informer. All was based on the hearsays, factual evidence from the brigadier. This is interesting. And that's what Miss K said. And then we have Molif. Thank you also. We're present. I see people are blaming parties. How are you going to vote? It matters also how and what you vote for. I guess these are things that we're going to have to live with if people vote in a certain way. I'm not saying people should vote for someone, but all I'm saying is that we must choose carefully now who we vote for, because if we like what is happening, I don't see any problem. Let's continue voting like this. If we don't, then obviously we're going to need to change. Tsidi, yeah, Anna Muhapi, thank you. This is our member. Eunice, thank you. And Dipuo, thank you. Fanuel, thank you. Just going through some of your comments, and if I don't call you today, definitely tomorrow I will call you. Blessing Mabena, thank you. And then we have let me see. Yes, someone, Mizi, who donated. Thank you. Let me see. We have Busani. Thank you, Busani Sibanda. And Kalisile Lamini. Thank you. Kiabetwa Napo. Thank you. Shimane. Thank you. And Timbalani Kanya. Thank you. Sinentlanta paying you. One comment too many. Thank you. It's a very interesting name. Let me see. Someone is calling. Okay. It's a very interesting name. Kwelagiti. Thank you. Let's see. What am I missing? Didi Talks. Thank you. Sizwe Mgaka. Thank you. Now I know for sure that I've Didi Som Tetwa. Thank you. Nyambos. And we have other people. And then, yeah. Diane, Thank you. Farai James. Gininda is fluent English speaking, but does not answer any questions. People must listen and learn to differentiate. That is true. You must decipher what is being said. But other than the English, what are you saying? This case was decided long time ago. That is Ntanzi too. Saying that this case was discussed long time ago. Tapsile, Leshoro, bye family, bye Tapsile. I think I've covered all of you guys. If I miss someone, definitely tomorrow is a day, and we still have more time, guys. Definitely gonna call you, and we thank you for your support, guys, and people who are donating. We are nothing without you. Let me see. Basically, Muzwake Radebe. Thank you, Baloi channel. Shout out, man. I'm sure if you're still keeping up with the channel, you've been supporting us. People should go check your channel. If you're still there, thank you very much for being there for us. Didi Anna, thank you for your generous offer. Thank you. We celebrate you. Joseph Sbego, all I hear is subsequently, but no answers. Yes, Sbego, you are right. This case is tiring. Eunice, at least good night, family. Good night, Eunice. Joe Monare, thank you for the insightful commentary. Have a good night. Snintantla, don't forget net. Yes, net. Yes. Sims Gaba. Thank you, Anonymous. Thanks. Thank you, Sims Gaba. Then good night, Linde Ni Hadebe. Thank you, Mr. Anonymous, butchering people's name. Hey, I have to, but if I don't call you, at least if I butcher yours, you know for sure that you're not gonna. I know for sure that you're not gonna kill me. Yours is the most difficult one for me. I love you very much. Thank you, and indeed, you are always here for us. Basically, we can literally name this channel after your name, and Ansike Moyo, moderating, motivating people to like and share the videos and reminding them. Thank you guys for that, and we see your effort. One day we'll sit down and chat about what is going on. Thank you guys. It's a bye from me, and also on behalf of Emily, who's not here. It's a bye. Then tomorrow we will be here again doing what we do. We will take breaks, guys. Today I was at school where my daughter, yesterday. So it's tiring. But I'm here. Thank you very much.